You all are welcome to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe, like and share so that you will be first to get all my newly update videos. Thanks a lot. Ketanji Brown Jackson, the most recent member of the U.S. Supreme Court, presented an object lesson in judicial ethics to Justice Clarence Thomas, the court's longest-serving member, when she recused herself from listening to arguments in the Harvard admissions case. "That white noise you hear is Thomas's response." Jackson recused herself from the Harvard element of Monday's arguments due to the fact she was a member of the Harvard Board of Overseers when the college started its protection of its race-conscious admissions policy. It was not some bold, magnanimous gesture on Jackson's part. Just a proper element to do, underpinned via generations of precedent. Precedent things little to Thomas and his ideological friends on the court, who had no hassle ignoring or disregarding many years of prior rulings whilst overturning Roe v. Wade, and appear poised to do the identical when it comes to university admissions. Thomas neglected precedent and appearances via refusing to recuse himself from instances associated to the January 6 insurrection, despite the truth that his wife, Ginny, was neck-deep in efforts to overturn the consequences of the 2020 presidential election. In January, the Supreme Court ordered that archives from the Trump administration became over to the House committee investigating the Capitol riot. One justice refused to go along. I'll provide you one guess. That a Supreme Court justice refuses to recuse himself from instances in which his spouse is intimately involved and faces no enforceable policies or consequences is a traditional instance of the form of ivory tower elitism Justice Thomas likes to rail against. During her affirmation hearing, Jackson pledged to recuse herself from the Harvard case. She stored her word, not like some colleagues who feigned admire for precedent. Justice Elena Kagan, like Jackson, a Harvard Law grad and former dean at Harvard Law, automatically recuses herself from instances that contact on her work as Solicitor General. Thomas's hostility to affirmative motion is long-standing, in spite of his having benefited from it. He was usual to Yale Law School below an affirmative motion application aimed at making 10% of incoming instructions black and different students of color. When Thomas chaired the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission in 1983, he gave a speech to his personnel announcing affirmative motion packages were of paramount importance to him. "But for them, God solely is aware of where I'd be today," he stated at the time. "These legal guidelines and their desirable software are all that stand between the first 17 years of my lifestyles and the second 17 years. His writings and public statements advocate he came to oppose to affirmative motion, not because, as many conservatives contend, it quantities to reverse discrimination in opposition to whites, however, due to the fact he considers it a patronizing instrument of white supremacy, rooted in a faith that black humans are inferior and want the assist of benevolent white liberal elites." As Thomas has recounted himself, his views on race make him a radical greater than a conservative. In university at Holy Cross, he embraced black nationalism and had a poster of Malcolm X on his wall. In 2003, when the Supreme Court upheld the University of Michigan Law School's use of race as an aspect in admissions, Thomas objected not due to the fact the coverage damaged the white plaintiff, however, due to the fact it was a way for the faculty to remain, as he put it,